Hey guys, I hope you all doing really well. I'm Allure Cosplay, and today we break down my white-green enchantment deck. Let's go. And this is my commander. She only costs 2 to cast. Whenever you cast an enchantment, you gain 1 life and you draw 1 card. Starting with the instance, this is one of my favorite ones. Pay X, destroy X target artifacts or enchantments, or gain X life. The rest of the instants are mostly some sort of a fog. Remove target attacking creature and equipment attached to it. Prevent all damage from target spell. Prevent all damage from creatures 3 or less, and also gain some life. There are 35 lands in this deck. And now for the artifacts. The only artifact that I have for mana is Soul Ring. The next few are specifically for no maximum hand size. And finally, Ether Flux. When you cast a spell, you gain 1 life, pay 50 life, deal 50 damage. And now for the sorceries. This one, tap all creatures your opponents control. Creatures you control gain lifelink until the end of turn. The next one is Land Search. With this next one, look at the top 4 cards of your library and reveal an enchantment or a land and put it into your hand. Stormheart is one of my favorite sorceries. Create X11 White Pegasus creature tokens with flying, where X is your life total. The rest of the sorceries are mostly return all enchantments from the graveyard to the battlefield under your control or to your hand. There's only one Planeswalker in this deck. His ability is put 1/1 counter on target creature. However, any creature that has a +1/+1 can tap for mana. For the cost of 1, this next creature will give protection to a creature or an enchantment from the color of your choice. With this next creature, you can tap it and put an extra land per turn into play. Blossom Prancer, you can reveal 5 cards from the top of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library. Auramancer, when it enters the battlefield, you may return target enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. This next card does the same exact thing, however, it also gains you a little bit of life. Sanctum Weaver is one of my favorite enchantment creatures. When you tap it, add X mana of any color when X is the number of enchantments you control in an enchantment deck. That's gotta be a huge number. This is a landfall angel. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may return target non-land permanent from your graveyard to your hand. If it's a plains, you can put it straight onto the battlefield. Weaver of Harmony. Other enchantment creatures you control get +1/+1. For the cost of 1, you can copy a triggered ability from an enchantment. When this creature enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature or a planeswalker card among them and then put it into your hand, the rest into the bottom of the library in random order. I love this one. Creatures you control have hexproof. Creatures your opponents control lose hexproof. This is another landfall angel. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 creature bird token. This human monk makes it so enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. This spirit enters the battlefield with the indestructible counter. When you remove the counter, you can create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token for each permanent you control. This creature is indestructible. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may search your library for a plains or a forest. When this creature or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Blessed by the Sun. When another creature you control enters the battlefield or dies, you gain 1 life. This next creature will also draw a card on enchantment cast. This could be both a creature and an enchantment for a creature. Get +1/+1 for each creature and aura you control. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 white human creature token. Enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever an enchantment you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. This can be a 4/4 creature with flying and first strike, or it can be enchantment for a creature that's a +4/+4 and has flying and first strike. Whenever enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white Pegasus creature token with flying, and Pegasus creatures have lifelink. Nylea can be an indestructible creature or an enchantment. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Creature and enchantment spells you cast can't be countered, and also you can make a land be a XX elemental creature with trample. This enchantment makes a land you control into a 4/5 creature with vigilance and haste. This enchantment makes it so creature tokens you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance. I love this one. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays X, and X is however many enchantments you have on the battlefield. Exile another target permanent until this is destroyed. At the beginning of your upkeep, you can cast a permanent from your hand with converted mana cost to +1 more than the highest one you control on the battlefield. This one doubles all +1/+1 counters. This one is a scry and potentially a draw. This card could have flash if it's cast on a commander, and it makes them indestructible. Enchant a land, it makes it a 5/5 creature with trample. This enchantment is a win con. If you have 20 or more creatures, you win the game. Choose islands or swamps. Whenever an opponent taps that land, you gain 1 life. Creatures with flying can't attack you. At the beginning of your end step, create a 5/5 green worm creature token. Enchanted creature gets +20/+20. When this card or another enchantment enters the battlefield, double the power and toughness of a creature until the end of turn. When this enchantment enters the battlefield, draw a card, pay 1 green, creatures your opponents control lose hexproof and indestructible until the end of turn. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, you create a treasure token. Enchant a creature. Whenever the enchanted creature deals damage to a player, you may search your library for a basic plains card and put it into play tapped. This is another win con. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 50 or more life, you win the game. Creatures with flying can't block creatures you control. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. Enchanted creature has protection from black and from red. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a 1/1 white human creature token onto the battlefield. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to its toughness. Islands don't untap during their controller's untap steps. When a creature comes onto play under your control, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. This is a return from graveyard multi-kicker, and creatures you control get +1/+1. Exile target non-land permanent that opponent controls until this card leaves the battlefield. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature. This is a search for land enchantment saga that turns into a creature. This one boosts the target creature for 2 turns and then turns into a creature itself. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each forest you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, populate. This is a hard to win with win condition. Put an X tower counter on Helix Pinnacle at the beginning of your upkeep. If you have 100, you win the game. If an effect will create a token, it creates twice that many tokens. All creatures you control gain trample. This is one of my favorite combos. You can create as many Pegasuses as you have life, and then you can give them life links so you can swing for quite a lot of damage. This deck relies heavily on life gain as well as making tokens and giving those tokens +1/+1s. Well, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more random nerdy content from me. Don't forget to click the notification button so you know when I upload next. Bye!